Dropshipping on Facebook is super easy, right? Well, that's at least what people make it seem like online. You build out a website, you throw on a product, you create some advertisements, put it on Facebook, and then boom, you have your Lamborghini next week. Everyone seems to make it look so easy when it's just actually not. I've been doing this for over 6 years now, and no one really talks about the days, hours, long nights digging into analytics to figure out how it actually works and what makes it successful. Dropshipping on Facebook specifically is not really what it's made out to be. To be successful, dropshipping on Facebook takes persistence and consistency, which not a lot of people I've noticed are actually okay with doing. Now, I'm not bagging on Facebook specifically. I mean, that is my favorite platform to advertise on. I think it's the best one, but I'm telling you, it's not a breeze. It took me a long time to learn the platform and what actually works. So today I'm going to dive into the countless mistakes I see people make over and over again dropshipping on Facebook and what you should avoid. That way you can hopefully start seeing consistent sales and scale up your business. The first thing that I see a lot of the time is no testing structure. Jumping into Facebook ads without any form of structure is like trying to find a needle in a haystack blindfolded. So many beginners I see all of the time build out the website as fast as possible, create the ads as quick as possible, throw it on Facebook, put $150 into it with no background knowledge or any thought about it at all, and just expect to get a bunch of sales. The harsh truth is, without a systematic approach to some extent, while testing your ads, products, angles, copy, all of that, it's gonna lead to failure. You're really just gambling with your budget, hoping something sticks. You might as well take that $150, go to the casino and put it on black. Testing without any structure can lead you to losing a lot of money, blaming it on whatever, and saying e-com doesn't work, dropshipping is a failure, it's a lie, blah, blah, blah. And then ultimately you're gonna give up, you're gonna lose motivation and try the next side hustle that you wanna do, and then you're gonna do the same thing there and not put time and effort into it. It's gonna be an endless cycle, so you gotta stick with something for one. Now, you definitely want to go into Facebook with some sort of strategy and structure. The first thing you should do is think about the budget that you wanna spend and test on Facebook. What I recommend to everyone is testing with a budget that is 3 to 5 times your average order value. So if you're selling a product for $50 on your Shopify store, you should be spending at least $150 to $250 testing it. That goes per isolated test. And what I mean by an isolated test is testing one variable at a time. So if you're testing the marketing angle for an air purifier that is aimed to eliminate pet odors, that's your angle. That's what the copy is on your ads, your image ads or video ads, whatever it is. That's what you're running with. But what you're testing against each other is maybe the creative. Maybe you use a blue image versus a red one versus an orange, right? So you've isolated the variable. Okay, I'm testing blue against orange against red. And now when you run that 3 to 5 times AOV, you're going to get data and feedback back from each of those, right? And Facebook's going to come back and tell you, if when you look into the data, it's going to say, oh, well, people actually resonated with the orange one the best. It got the most clicks. We spent the most money there. And it actually ended up with the highest conversion rate. So that's, essentially your best one. That's an isolated test. So now you can say, I've tested 3 different creatives and the orange one is the best. Now, what's the next thing that I can isolate? Oh, wow. I noticed that a lot of spend went to 65 plus and they were converting at a 12% conversion rate compared to the 1% for the younger people. Now you'd isolate that, right? And you'd say, okay, now I'm going to take the orange one. I'm going to test the people that are 65 plus only and see how that goes versus the open test of all ages. Okay, well, the 65 plus and orange did better than that. Okay, perfect. Now I have 2 isolated variables that I've tested and it's improving my ads. You have to follow a strict strategy like that and isolate your variables one at a time. Otherwise, you're just not going to know what's working, what's not working, what to turn off, what to scale up and add more money into. You just don't know. I have a way more in-depth video on strategy and testing on my channel. Make sure to check that out after this. Now, the next problem and mistake I see people making all the time are selling products on Facebook that just don't sell. And I am one to say that you can pretty much sell any product and it's really all about the marketing angles and how you present the product, but there is some truth to saying that there are some products that will not sell well on Facebook. It isn't just about what catches your eye and what's trending on TikTok right now, what little gadget or fidget spinner that people are liking on TikTok or Reels. With Facebook, you have to think about the demographic that's on there. Facebook and Instagram obviously have an older demographic than TikTok, right? Most young people are on TikTok, most older people are on Facebook, and somewhere in the between, which I guess is me, is on Instagram more of the time, right? So you have to think about that audience. If you're advertising only on Facebook, a product that's made for like 16-year-olds or something like that, you're not gonna get as much traction as you would maybe on TikTok. You should be familiar with these platforms and know that, if a product is aimed towards 16 to 25-year-olds, it might perform better on TikTok and Snapchat. If there's a product for people with children or people for 65 plus is kind of the targeting, it's probably not going to be on TikTok. They're going to more likely be on Facebook, and you're going to have more success with that product. And something to keep in mind with Facebook or Instagram is that the older demographic of audience that's on there, you got to think about what their daily lives are like, right? So if they're 25 plus mainly on these platforms, they probably have full-time jobs, which means they probably have a lot less free time, which means they're probably not going on there and buying some fun gadget to mess around with. They're probably going on there and buying more stuff that are problem-solving products or products that are going to save them time. Take a look at this example here. This is Bleem. I've talked about it before. It's a great product that does very, very well on Meta in general. It's a crystal hair eraser, so it's tired of razor cuts, painful waxing, or expensive lasers. The hair easier is for you, so it helps you shave essentially without using a razor. You don't get razor bumps. It removes your hair, which is one, going to save people time. Two, it's going to save people money from waxing. That could be an angle, and it could potentially solve the problem of razor bumps or something like that. This is a great product to run on Meta, and that's why it's doing so well. Plus, their website just looks pretty fantastic. Also, I like this before and after thing. Really, really cool. Great website to check out for inspiration. And what I just talked about kind of leads me into the next mistake that people make on Facebook and Instagram, and it's expecting success without knowing the platform. Tons of new dropshippers show up to Facebook expecting overnight success. This unrealistic expectation can lead to lack of motivation and desperation, and ultimately just giving up. A lot of beginner dropshippers that I see on Facebook and other platforms really struggle just to dig into the analytics alone. If you can't interpret the metrics in the data that you're getting back from paid advertising, such as click-through rates, cost per 1,000 impression, cost per link click, if you can't really break that down, you can't make educated decisions to move forward of what worked and what did not work. And you're also not going to see any little hints or indicators of which way you should take things. Like the example I used earlier, if you don't know how to break down which advertisement creative worked the best, orange, red, or blue, or whatever I said, and you don't know how to dig into that and actually look at that, how are you going to make that decision to move forward? Also, if you don't know how to break it down by age or country that the spend went to, how are you going to know that maybe there's a hunch that there's UK people that are really interested in this product? The truth is that Facebook is a very powerful advertising platform with great data and great insights into things that you're running at the moment, but it requires a lot of patience and learning. Success on this platform relies a lot on metrics like I'm just talking about. And I see so many beginners just go onto Facebook, put up the ad, not know what anything means. What does CPM mean? I get that question all the time, and it's like, okay, you just scroll over it and it'll tell you the exact definition of it. So before you run any ads on any platform at all, especially on Facebook, you should really know how to look into the reports, what each data point and metric means, what does click-through rate mean, what's a good click-through rate for your industry, what does cost per link click mean, how can I get these lower, is there any patterns between cost per link click and my conversion rate? These are some things that you need to look into before. Facebook obviously has a great course or whatever you want to call it, information on this and how to break it down and how to look into it and how to use the tool efficiently. Again, it's such a powerful tool, and there's so many things on the back end that you can dig into to actually figure out, put the puzzle pieces together, and ultimately lead you in the right direction and find success. So if you're brand new to Facebook, definitely poke around on it, learn how the reports work, learn what each acronym means before you spend any money at all. It's going to help you out, trust me. The next mistake that I see people make when they go on to Facebook expecting to dropship overnight is they're not prepared to invest some money in actually getting high quality ad creatives. It has become very, very popular just to rip other ad creatives and other images from brands and put them on your own advertisement and then run it on Facebook. I personally think that's wrong for a few reasons, and also it is actually legally wrong too. So if you steal an image from someone's website, like if you go on Bleem here and I take this image and I'm running the same product as them right here, this is actually their property. You cannot run advertisements with this. Bleem can actually send you a DMCA takedown notice where you have to remove it from your website, or they can sue you and Shopify will shut down your website. Everyone in the beginning, it seems like, tries to cut corners and just half-ass every single thing when starting up the business. It just doesn't fly anymore, especially in 2024. High quality original content stands out very well on Facebook, and ordering the product to your house is pretty simple. You can have a photographer take some photos of it. You can take some UGC content yourself with your iPhone. As long as you have the product in hand, you essentially have unlimited content that you can take with it and test so much more. And you don't have to worry about any legal issues from stealing images on other people's websites. And something I didn't even mention is that Facebook scans these images too, right? They have AI that looks at your copy, everything on the image or the video to make sure it follows their guidelines, otherwise it gets rejected. And this ties into what I said earlier. If you've got low quality content on your Facebook ads, there's actually metrics on this in the ad creative level that tell you the ad quality rankings. If you've got low ad quality rankings, they actually charge you more money per ad and you're probably not going to be profitable. A lot of people don't even know about this, which blows my mind, but look into that one especially. And it's really not that expensive to actually create your own content and get your own ad creatives and images and videos. One, you can order it to your house and do it all yourself completely for free besides the product cost. Then you can just go on Canva and edit them, put it on a nice background, add some shadows to it, whatever, to make it look really nice. Obviously, this takes a little bit more time and a lot of people just want fast money. That's just not how it works, unfortunately. So you do have to put a lot of time and effort into building your brand because you want to build a long-term sustainable business rather than just one ripped product from someone else that you ran out for 30 days and then you got DMCA takedown notice and your website's done. Now, if you do want really good templates for Facebook, I love image ads, carousel ads on Facebook. They're just so much cheaper than video right now. And Creative OS has a ton of great ones. So they populate these every single week with new ones from top brands. And you just take the templates, put them into Canva, switch out some of the copy and the images with your product. And now you've got very high quality ad creatives used by the top brands that you can test rapidly every single week. It's a great platform. I'll have a link down below in the description if you want to try it out. All right, so those are the harsh truths about dropshipping on Facebook. I hope that if you're a beginner, this gave you some good insight of what not to do on Facebook and how to actually succeed. I know I probably just gave you homework because it's like, oh, don't do this, don't do this. Actually spend more time on this and that, invest time and money. And you're probably thinking, that's just so much effort and more than I ever thought when starting a dropshipping brand, because you see all these people online say it's super easy to do and you can do it in 2 days. Trust me, I've been doing it for 6 years now. These are the things that you need to avoid. Spend time, money, and effort in building your business, something that you're proud of. Otherwise, you might make a quick buck, but it's not going to last. I can promise you that. All right, guys, I hope you liked this video. Please remember to leave a comment, like the video, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. Also, check out my channel. I've got way more in-depth videos on pretty much everything I talked about, full guides, all that stuff. All right, guys, thanks for watching. And as always, have a great rest of your day.